न्याय देने जा रहे हैं। शौक मत होना, अभी धमाका बचने जा रहा है। 20% सबसे गरीब परिवारों को हर साल 72,000 रुपए देने जा रही है। अगर नरेंद्र मोदी जी हिंदुस्तान के सबसे अमीर लोगों को पैसा दे सकते हैं, तो कांग्रेस पार्टी देश के सबसे गरीब लोगों को पैसा दे सकती है। 5 करोड़ फैमिलीज, 25 करोड़ लोगों को डायरेक्ट इस स्कीम का फायदा मिलेगा।
The Congress Party's mega poll promise, that's the top focus this evening. Shereen, Bhan and Latha Venkatesh are joining in now with a special set of guests to take this discussion forward. Over to you, ladies.
The Congress has promised to guarantee an income of 72,000 rupees per year to the bottom 20% of poorest families of India if it forms the next government. Congress President Rahul Gandhi announced the scheme today and said that 5 crore families, that is around 25 crore people, will benefit from this scheme. Rahul Gandhi added that the Congress has consulted renowned economists and experts before finalizing the scheme and has also studied the fiscal implications. Reacting to this poll promise by the Congress, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley called it a, and I quote, bluff announcement. He said, and I quote, if tested on simple arithmetic, then 72,000 crore rupees is less than 2/3 of the existing DBT under the Modi government, which averages 1.068 lakh rupees annually. To discuss the Congress's promise and the BJP's response, I have with me Surjit, Bhalla, economist and former member of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, Narendra, Taneja of the BJP, and Sulaiman of the Congress. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Well, let me start with the neutral party first. Surjit, Bhalla, 3.6 lakh crore is the amount earmarked every year if 5 crore families were to get 72,000 crore. Works out to about 1.9% of the GDP. Doable, you think?
No. Well, it's doable, but I think the whole scheme, if I may say so, is rather wonky. And I even tweeted about it a couple hours back. Look, from what I understand, and it is quite clear that the Congress hasn't quite explained it in detail. They said they'll come out with the detail. But let's look at what we have received. They say there'll be 72,000 rupees per family per year. And it's the bottom 20%. Now, I read it as saying that if you rank the population from 1 to 100, from 1 to 20 will get the same amount. Okay, 72,000 per person, and then you 6,000 per month, and then you divide it by 4.5 persons per family. So it comes out to whatever it comes out, that everybody gets the same amount. Which would mean that now in the new distribution, and let's call it the Raga distribution of incomes or consumption, that for the 20th person will now have the same income as the 55th person before the implementation of the scheme. In other words, you're giving, let's say, 1,000 rupees per person from 1 to 20, and the others don't get anything. Their incomes don't change. So therefore, regardless of the cost, he is alienating, or the Congress will be alienating 35 people rather than befriending 20 people.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now, one more thing, if I may say so. One more thing. One more thing. I had offered, along with my co-author Karan Bhasin, a detailed program of income transfers, and the differences are best explained. We call it a targeted basic income. And that is that each person is brought up to the World Bank's poverty line for middle income countries. So therefore, if I'm on the borderline, I hardly get anything. And if I'm poor, I'll get the difference between my income and the subsidy.
Okay. All right, fine.
And the new poverty line.
Okay,
Yeah.
I take your point, but it's just that will require a lot more data about how much people are earning. And moreover, this idea of being on the borderline is there even, that heartburn is there even now. I mean, it's 30% income tax if you are at 5 lakhs or whether you are earning 5 crores a month. So, that heartburn is definitely there. But let me get Mr. Mohammed Khan on the issue. How would you defend this, Mr. Khan? Do you think that there will be heartburn if you don't come into that category?
I think this is one of the scheme which is completely going to be a game changer, and this is minimum income guarantee scheme, on which we were working for months now.
Okay.
The details will follow.
Okay.
To my understanding, it is 72,000 per year for 20% of the people.
I got that.
Who are the poorest of poor.
Okay.
And I think this is with the same line. I think what we have done in the UPA 1 and 2 by bringing Manrega and then the food security
One minute.
This is the third step on the trot.
Okay, 1 minute. The Manrega, the last budget sanctioned 55,000 crores. Now, what we are talking about is 3.6 lakh crore. Do you think we can? This is affordable, Mr. Khan. Where will we get this money from? I mean, you're going to cancel all food subsidies in that case?
Yeah, understood. This is This is actually after quite deliberations with the important people, experts in the field like Mr. Chidambaram, Dr. Manmohan Singh and others. This has finally been decided, and no subsidy cut. The things will remain as it is, but this will be given to the people, and the details will follow very soon.
Okay, well, that doesn't quite
so nobody
answer
has to worry
now.
about it, and therefore we are saying when Mr. Modi can waive off the loans of 3.5 lakh crores of rich people, corporates, why don't we give 3 lakh, 4 lakh crores to poor of the country?
Well, nothing has been waived off. It's just that the legal system takes its time to chase these people down.
1 lakh crore bank scams has been allowed. Has this not been, the shortcoming of the government?
Well, I see that has not gone out of the budget, and I genuinely worry that 3.6 lakh crore is almost 2% of the GDP, and I'm worried where that money will come from. Mr. Taneja, what are your worries with this scheme?
Well, not much really, because you see, when Congress has already conceded defeat. I mean, this is the first thing we need to talk. Already conceded defeat in 2019 election. Where do you see Congress? We don't see in UP, we don't see in Bengal, we don't see in most parts of the country. Now the point here is that, and when you know that you're not coming to power, you are actually already working for 2024, 2029, you can promise anything. I mean, all it does is just a press conference.
Are you very sure?
Make an announcement.
Are you very sure? Are you very sure your party will not come with a counter offer?
No. Listen, I mean, we have already done more than that. We have already done. Now, today, Mr. Rahul Gandhi was talking about the direct bank transfer. Forgetting one thing, till 2014, 67% Indians didn't have bank account. They didn't let them open the bank account. So we empowered these people. Today, if every Indian has a bank account, this is us.
Okay.
30% people, they are talking, 30% villages didn't have electricity. Every single village has electricity today. 90% people have got LPG, and so on. The list goes on. Now the point is, if you look at the work that we have done for the people, and if you really count that in terms of rupees and all that, we have already done more than what he is promising. Now the point is just a bluff. You have to look at the history of the Congress party right from 1971. It's just one sentence. 1971, they promise and then they go back. They promise, then they go back. Congress party is known for it. Rahul Gandhi ji today was talking like a Santa Claus with a bag on his back, saying, look, this is what I'm going to give you, but there is a deal. You have to give me vote first. Install me as the Prime Minister.
We are going a little far away from the topic under consideration. Yes, Mr. Khan.
No, I'm not.
No.
Just last line. Last line.
Mr. Khan, I'll come back.
All I'm saying is,
Yeah, Go ahead, Mr. Taneja, just finish your point.
Am I allowed to complete my sentence?
Yes, please.
No. All I'm saying is because why, if you think I'm not talking like an economist, I'm a trained economist myself, because Mr. Rahul Gandhi was talking, it's a bluff, it's all 100% poor politics. So I have to answer it in such a way that your viewers can understand that Mr. Rahul Gandhi thinks people don't know anything. He's trying to cheat people. Congress is known for chal, kapat and bluff. That's what it is from Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Mr. Taneja, these are not arithmetic arguments. You will have to say whether 72,000 crore will work and why it will not work. Mr. Khan, your defense.
Yeah, actually, the BJP is a bit jittery with this scheme. They are not able to understand how to react. So they are actually, picking out, shortcomings of Congress, or they are saying you have not done this, but they are not answering what you have done in 5 years. They have promised, that they will distress, the farmers' distress will be over. And about the electrification of villages, only 3% villages have been electrified by them. A wrong data has been given. And that Garibi Hatao slogan given at that time in 1971, crores and crores of people have come out of that Garibi, and during UPA 1 and 2, 14 crore people have come above the poverty line.
Okay,
so
well, I think we're taking the debate away from...
They have given 2,000 rupees to farmers in the first installment. 6,000 per year to the farmers. We waived off the farmers' loan. So then when they felt that they are on a back foot, who not done anything for farmers for 5 years, they came out with this 6,000 per year.
Well, Surjit, now, Mr. Khan, Mr. Taneja. Okay, Mr. Khan, Mr. Taneja, I'm more interested in knowing whether the country can afford this. And Surjit Bhalla, therefore, I'll come back to you. You did speak about the alienation of those who don't fall within that 20%. That apart, do you think a 3.6 lakh crore expense is affordable at this point in time? Can the Congress deliver on this only if it eats up, say, food subsidy or some other big scheme?
Yeah, I empathize with Latha. I mean, I want to talk economics. I think you want to talk economics, and we've got two politicians. So I think let me abstract from both of them. All I want to state is that I would say on your show that I would challenge that there would be no way any economist, Manmohan Singh was mentioned, and take any economist from the UPA, would ever come even close to defending this scheme, either in its logic or in its practicality. So it is really embarrassing that a major political party of yesteryear, maybe, has come out with this. I mean, first of all, now let me address directly your question. Is it affordable?
Yeah, affordable. I mean, if you fold in the food subsidy and the MNREGA, you think it's doable?
Please ask the politicians to just keep quiet while I'm saying they can have that time. And they can come out with...
No, I'm just asking you, if you fold in the MNREGA and the food subsidy, do you think then this becomes manageable? But then the question is, can you really...
No, again, okay, now let's do that. Okay? So, first of all, it is completely bizarre if you do not remove all subsidies. And food subsidies are about almost 2 lakh crores, and Narendra is
55,000 crores.
So you get to 2.6 lakh crores, which is exactly, which is even less than what these guys have promised, because this is 3.4. Another lakh crore you have got to get. Okay, it is. Okay. Now let's come to the specifics. If you are going to give, and the math just doesn't add up for the logic. That is, let's say you get all the resources. There is no scheme like this in the world. No scheme has ever been mentioned because of the distortions it'll bring about in the distribution. You satisfy the bottom 20% and you alienate the 35%. I mean, their incomes are not changing. What is going to happen? Nobody ever suggests. The suggestion
that was true. That's true of all.
People.
That's true of many schemes. I mean, what about the
Latha,
the minimum? The land.
Schemes
See the small farmer scheme that the BJP has announced. and which has already been implemented, does not give anything to the landless labor, does not give anything to tenants. That also alienates a substantial segment. But nevertheless, they have rolled out the program and already implemented it.
No. Look, let me just point out that at least what an economist were to state, you're saying what a politician has done, whether it's good or bad, let the people decide.
So you don't agree with that program?
I'm saying no. I certainly agree that farmers need support. I also agree with you that landless laborers need support, which is why in my article, in my paper, academic paper, I said all poor, including the urban poor, should be getting this transfer and should get it on a targeted basis. If the poverty line is 200, I earn 100, I should get 100 more. If my poverty line is 200 and I earn 195, I should get only 5 rupees more.
Okay.
This doesn't distort the distribution at all.
Okay. Well, Surjit, Bhalla, you will have to give it to them that this would be the entire informal sector in India, and it's impossible to find out how much they're earning, and it wouldn't even be a daily average because, you know, incomes of the bottom 20% would fluctuate on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So while your scheme is neat on paper, it might be very difficult to implement. But
look, all poverty schemes in the world are done on a targeted basis, and
but this is targeted. This is only 5 crore of the bottom 20%. I mean, this is targeted. You will have to admit that. Whether the targeting succeeds, I do not know. But it is targeted.
Latha, what I'm saying, I'm still not getting the point across that the distribution gets distorted.
I agree
with you. As I said, the distribution,
I agree with you that the bottom percentile should get more than someone who is probably 80th as poor compared to someone who is, you know, the 99th percentile. I take that point. And that nothing is given.
Or the 20th percentile should get less than the 19th percentile.
Yeah, I tell you that's neat on paper, but I'm very sure that it's going to be almost impossible to implement. Mr. Taneja, do you think...
I think now you can.
Okay, well, let's hope so. It still looks too neat. But Mr. Taneja, you know, at the moment, the BJP's program is 6,000 rupees per quarter, and that too for landed. Whereas here, the urban poor and the rural poor have been included in the Congress scheme. You know, because it's 5 crore poorest. So urban and rural poor would be included, and they would essentially be landless. So are you sure the BJP will not come with a counter to this?
No. Listen, as far as BJP is concerned, we are very clear on these issues. We believe in expanding the economy. We believe in growth. We believe in generating wealth. That's the way to eradicate poverty.
Then why did you announce 6,000 rupees per farmer family? I mean, compared to your program. Mr. Taneja, let me complete my question. Let me complete my question. Your program is 6,000 rupees per quarter for a landed farmer. The Congress program is 6,000 rupees per month for all families, whether rural or urban, and certainly landless, because it is the poorest 20%. In terms of justice, you will have to say their program looks more fair. It sounds unaffordable to me, but it's certainly more fair than 6,000 rupees for a landed farmer.
You see, the Latha difference is when you make a plan and announce it, because you know tomorrow you have to implement it. Then you look at economics and the numbers seriously. When you know that it's just a slogan for you, you don't need to implement it because you're not getting even 100 seats in Parliament.
You're not answering my question. I'm telling you that their program sounds more fair.
I'm answering. No, listen. No, listen. No. Are you talking about who can write a better program? I can do better than Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Just allow me 30 minutes. I will do that.
Okay.
Because I don't have to implement it.
Well, so
now the point, just let me complete.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say is that our approach is, expand economy, grow, generate wealth. At the same time, those who need support from the government come out with government-sponsored, backed scheme so that they are looked after and they can also be mainstream. So they also become contributors. Okay. But as far as the Santa Claus approach of Rahul Gandhi is concerned, is very simple because he knows it. You ask him in private. They are not coming to power.
So Mr. Khan, give me a minute.
Can you tell the gentleman?
Shereen has joined us. I just want her to have one question to you.
Let's have a civilized debate.
No, I was just listening in. I was just listening. Mr. Taneja, I was just listening in, and let me get the Congress spokesperson, Sulaiman Mohammed Khan, to respond. Mr. Taneja, we'll come back. 1 second. 1 second, sir. We'll come back to you, sir, in just a second. Let me get Mr. Khan to respond to the comment that you made. Mr. Khan, respond to the fact that, and there are genuine, legitimate concerns being raised about the implications that this will have as far as the fiscal deficit is concerned. You know, we've had conversations in the past with the former finance minister, Mr. Chidambaram, with people like Praveen Chakravarti, who've given us some sense of how this will be rolled out, or how this will be implemented as and when, if you were to come to power. But address the genuine concern that's being raised on the implications for the fiscal deficit. Will this replace some of the existing subsidies? Will you reorganize some of the existing subsidies? Those are the questions that people also want answers to.
Yeah, Latha, I completely take note of Mr. Bhalla's concern, but let me make it very, very clear that this scheme will be implemented in full accordance with fiscal discipline goals. 1. Second, no existing social welfare scheme shall be discontinued. Third, no subsidy shall be slashed. So all these concerns we are making categorically clear. No subsidy cut, no social welfare.
Where will the resources come from, Mr. Khan?
We will.
Mr. Khan, where will the resources come from?
Yes, it will come. The details will follow. I am not going to, give you the whole scheme in next 2 minutes. But I have, a suggestion for Mr. Bhalla as well. Outrightly pulling the gun and rejecting the scheme, I think it's unfair. Give us the chance to give the details. Mr. Modi has promised 10 crore jobs and 50% plus cost plus 50% on MSP to the farmers. Have he done so? He promised sun and the moon. Nobody questioned him at that time. For 5 years, nobody has questioned him. We are saying we will do it. And what we have promised, we have done it, and we will do this. And the details will come out very soon. You wait and watch.
No, Mr.
But
Khan,
don't reject it at the outset.
Yeah. Can I answer?
Okay, so the.
Can I answer?
Yes, yes,
I don't think anyone is rejecting. Yes, Surjit Bhalla, go ahead.
No, Mr. Bhalla has done it. Therefore, I have replied to it.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Let me just.
Okay, he's responding now.
Reply to Mr. Khan, and I want to repeat and I want to emphasize that this allegation of 10 crore jobs being promised by Mr. Modi, I have challenged this in newspapers, I've challenged this in tweets, I've challenged this in TV shows, including, I think, this show, that please show me a record of where this has been promised. Now let me come, okay, so therefore, please, just show the record. You can throw away stuff and allegations, and they never answer my challenge. So I'm challenging you again, sir. On live TV, on TV.
Sir, we will give you the details.
Please show me a record.
Sir, we will.
Oh, that's what I heard a month ago.
And the details
you know what?
will follow.
Okay.
You know what? I've been saying this
Mr.
for
Bhalla,
1 year.
Mr. Bhalla, we're running out of time,
I've been
sir.
saying this for 1 year.
No, as of today, we have
Mr.
announced.
Bhalla, we're running out of time, sir. If we can, Mr. Bhalla, if you could respond to the point being made here by Mr. Khan, specifically with respect to this promise. We'll take up the 10 crore job promise and the challenge later. But on this scheme specifically, sir, your final comments.
My final comment is, as you keep asking, I keep asking, where will the money come from? And the answer is, we'll show it. Now, that's no way to discuss or debate. I will show it to you later. I mean, how can I argue against that?
Yeah.
I'm asking,
may I say,
the logic doesn't add up, the math doesn't add up. You can promise until the cows come home, but it is not, it is just
in Madhya Pradesh,
promise in
Rajasthan
the air.
and Chhattisgarh, we promised loan waiver. People said, where from you waive the loans? We are trying to do this, and we have done a lot on that front.
And the evidence
we have promised and we have done. People have
and the evidence is that the loan waiver hasn't worked.
The loan waiver as well.
Okay.
No, we have done. There can be shortcomings, but
Okay,
still
all
we are trying.
right.
And
Okay,
we have done.
I need to give Mr. Taneja. Need to give Mr. Taneja. Sure. Okay, Mr. Khan, I need to give Mr. Taneja the final comments. Mr. Taneja, go ahead, sir. We have to wrap up.
No, the only point I was trying to make is this. We have introduced our own scheme that Latha was talking about. And as the economy grows and as the need grows and all that, if required, we will scale it up. The point is, this is our plans are based on solid numbers, and at the same time, you know, making sure that the economy continue to grow. But here what Congress has done is that, please, I appreciate you want to analyze it and over-analyze it and all that, fine, that's your job. Please do that, I have no problem with it. But the problem is that you're over-analyzing something which does exist. It's just a slogan, empty slogan. It's a bluff. So please don't waste your time. It's a Rahul Gandhi's trademark bluff. You see, that's what it is. That's why the Congress spokesperson is so rattled. He's not letting anybody talk.
Sir, that's the nature. Sir, that's the nature of electoral promises,
it's just a bluff.
Okay, all right, it's a bluff. All right,
we are not wasting our time. We are not wasting our time. It's a trademark bluff.
Mr. Khan, Mr. Khan. Okay, trademark bluff. Mr. Khan, final comments.
Trademark bluff,
how
nothing
soon
else.
can we expect the
so
details from you?
we are not wasting our time.
Yeah, I can just say as on today that very soon you'll see the details come out. And if we are, you know, we are a national party. We are the principal opposition party. We have been, you know, in the center for almost 55 years. Will not come out. My president will not come out and do a press conference.
That's why there is so much poverty. That's why there is so much poverty.
Don't show me.
You people have grown rich and the people have grown poor.
The economy of the country. Don't lecture us.
Leaders have grown rich and the people have grown poor. That's what Congress does.
Gentlemen, we're completely.
So that's what they have done.
We are completely out of time. We are complete.
Just bluff.
We are completely out of time. Promises are made by all political parties. Promises are made by all political parties. The question, though, is how good they come on those promises. How good they come on those promises. Mr. Khan, Mr. Taneja, gentlemen, we'll have to leave it there. Surjit, Bhalla, thanks very much for joining us here on the promise made by the Congress Party of a minimum income guarantee for the poorest of the poor households. On that note, we'll take a break. There's a lot more coming up. Don't go anywhere.